Welcome back to my series on debunking flat Earth. This is video number 2. Let's talk about the northern and southern stars and how we can use those to prove that the Earth is a sphere. So as us heliosexuals know, this is what our solar system looks like. The sun is in the center and the Earth and the other planets spin around the sun. But let's talk about its relation to the north and south stars. So if you were to shrink our solar system down to that little dot in the middle, our galaxy is much bigger than our solar system. So the galaxy includes the other stars. Up top, away straight directly above our North Pole on the spherical Earth is the North Star. And as we spin, the North Star seems to not move. Everything else moves around it or appears to do so as the Earth spins. To the south, the centermost star cluster, the constellation Octans, is down there. So in the southern hemisphere, when people look into the southernmost sky directly above the South Pole, they see these 3 stars spinning right in the center, like the center of a clock. And all the other stars appear to rotate around that 3-star constellation. So if we zoom in and kind of look at what's going on, the northern hemisphere looking north is going to see the North Star in the center. And that's so provable with our own eyes. We don't have to use any kind of special equipment. The last star in the Little Dipper, the tip of its tail, the tip of its handle, is the North Star. If you look in the northernmost sky, you'll see that North Star, and all the other stars appear to rotate around it if you were to do a time-lapse photography shoot to be able to see that. Now down south, the southernmost hemisphere, when they look into the southern sky, they're going to see Octans in the center and everything else rolling around it. So once again, if we back out, that's our solar system in the middle, that little dot there. If we look up with a time lapse, star trails appear to go counterclockwise. In the southernmost hemisphere, looking to that Octans constellation in the center, if you do a time lapse, star trails appear to go clockwise. That's only possible on a sphere. So no matter what little graphics you've seen with a flat earther trying to explain this, really use your common sense and think that is impossible. It can't look like that on a flat earth. This is only possible and it's only true on a sphere. So on a flat earth, you've got the flat earth there, the sun going around in circles above it. The lit area is daylight. The dark area is night as the sun travels in circles over the earth. Well, most flat earthers do agree that the North Star is dead center right above the North Pole. And you can get shots from that. And the majority of people live in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's easy to fool a lot of people if your majority audience is in the Northern Hemisphere. But you can't fool the Southern Hemisphere people because they see a different sky the further south that they go. Where's Octans? Where's that 3-star cluster that the Southern Hemisphere sees directly above the South Pole? Where is it on a flat Earth? No flat earther trying to prove their little thoughts will ever talk about the constellation Octans because it doesn't fit their narrative. They can only preach to the sheep in the Northern Hemisphere because they're easier to fool because we only think about the North Star. We don't think about what's in the center of the sky for the Southern Hemisphere. So here's the magic question for flat earthers. If Australia and South Africa and South America are looking outwards, south, each one, those yellow arrows there pointing outwards, is their south. How do all 3 of those different locations see Octans in the center of their sky? When they look up, supposedly exactly above the South Pole, they see Octans. You can't not prove that. It's not, I mean, you can't argue that. You can't do any experiment for anybody in the Southern Hemisphere and say Octans doesn't exist or star trails don't go clockwise. You can't do that because it's true and it's easily provable. So Australia, South Africa, South America, looking south, each one of those 3 different experiences see octans in the dead center of the southernmost sky. How is that possible on a flat Earth? So using the northern and southern stars, game over for flat earthers.